UDM leader Bantu Holomisa is standing by Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. She's currently facing possible impeachment by Parliament. Holomisa, along with ATM, have filed an affidavit supporting her position. Meanwhile, billions of rands have been set aside for relief following devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. But there are fears that this money may end up in the hands of corrupt politicians and connected people. Holomisa joins us now to discuss all these issues. Mr. Holomisa, thank you very much for your time this morning. Now, those reports that you have filed an affidavit, can you in fact confirm that you have filed the affidavit in support of the Public Protector's application to interdict her impeachment process?
I can confirm that the UDM has indeed filed those records or documents. At this stage, just to be clear what is taking place, we are at a level where we are talking procedural issues. We have not yet started to discuss substantive ones. Procedural issues are as follows. We are saying the committee which was appointed cannot start the process because Madam Mkhwebane has a pending case in the highest court. That means she has applied to the Court to review their decision. They may be against her. So we say, therefore, wait until that process has been finalized, because the rule of which guarantees that rather the rule of sub judice also affects Parliament. So we are clear. So let us wait. They must just swallow their pride, ANC and TA. I don't know what are they rushing for.
So you're confining yourself to the sub judice principle, not necessarily that it's support in the form of perhaps dealing with the merits of a case or the strength of a case. You've confined yourself to sub judice. Then what do you make, though, of Parliament's argument that the integrity of the process was in fact upheld in that unanimous decision by the Court, that a judge at the very least, I'm getting to the substantive part now, that a judge at the very least as a member of a panel is not only permissible, but in fact desirable. Therefore, there should be no further delays that they should be entertaining as Parliament. What do you make of that?
Well, let's leave that to the Constitutional Court, because that judge is active, confine ourselves to the structured institutions. So if the Public Protector, for instance, as she has done, she says, I'm applying for you to your Constitutional Court to review your earlier decision or this whole thing. She's entitled to that. So the fact that she has been engaged to go and present her case means that she is allowed to do so. All we are saying, Parliament, hold your horses, wait.
So just indulge us a bit, Mr. Holomisa, this process right now, if it were after this, if perhaps now the committee sits, if they perhaps were to recommend her removal, what would be the next step? What happens in the House?
I'll speak on behalf of the UDM. If the process were to be started tomorrow, we will be told about the main complaint and the complainants on that complaint. Firstly, we will want to know how many cases has Mkhwebane presided over the years. How many cases has she referred to the state for implementation? Of the cases which she presided over, how many were taken for a judicial review, and how many has he won, how many has she lost? And we ask questions. Based on these reports, why do you want to remove her? Then this is where now the argument is going to begin to take place. So for now, too early.
It's a bit too early. Then just before I let you go, let's talk about the wave of cynicism in the country, if I can call it that, where we had even Minister Godongwana was quoted as saying the KZN relief funds might need to be managed by an independent agency. When did we become a society that is automatically expecting politicians to actually capitalize on people's misfortune?
Well, they say once bitten, twice shy. We have seen the politicians in the last 27 years. They are not so the of the department. They usurped of the accounting officer, thereby giving political directives laced with corruption. So it's certain that the president and the minister of finance must listen to the complaints of the citizens. People have been pointing fingers to their political heads, and these politicians this time around, I hope that the political heads in those departments, they can take a step back and allow the DGs, the chief directors, as well as the NGOs and the department staff to deal with these matters, because these political directives, these are the ones which lead to short work done by so-called construction companies. Please, this time around, they must take a back seat. We've seen them already parading in KwaZulu-Natal every day, promising and coming up with empty promises without even having a plan coming from the experts, like quantity surveyors, as well as other structures of the government.
But then, General, what is a government for when you have citizens saying, let us implement this program, let us as NGOs be the ones that somehow ensure there's relief in communities? What is a government for then, if we've come to this now?
The public is saying so because they have been disappointed by the government. They have lost confidence in government. And let's hope that this time around there will be a way. But where you are not going to succeed, the ANC president must not make a mistake. He has to make sure that that money goes through structures of government. That's why I'm saying the accounting officers must take the lead. Whether they work with NGOs, but they still have to account. If they are going to take money from National Treasury and give it directly to NGOs, that is another recipe for disaster.
No, Mr. Holomisa, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully this will serve as a moment to reflect on the part of government officials as well as politicians and those within close proximity of those politicians that we've clearly done too much. If citizens automatically suspect us and think we're going to steal, it's honestly time to reflect. Thank you very much for your time. That's UDM leader Bantu Holomisa.